The time has come, and I am super excited to share this with you. Now, you may remember a few months ago when I went on a sailing trip in Spain with a guy named Andy. Now, Andy has become a good friend, and he has a podcast called the Ocean Cruisers Podcast. And through that, he has gotten to know a ton of other YouTube sailing channels and sailors in general. And if there's one thing Andy is great at, it is networking. It is also sharing the love throughout the sailing community. So when Andy called me up and he said, I have this great idea. Why don't we get several YouTube channels together and we will go to Greece and we'll have this big kind of convention of YouTube channels on a sailboat and we'll cruise around for a week. I was all in. This is the story of that adventure. But before we get started, we need to meet the cast of characters. We have Michael and Joel from Bums on a Boat YouTube channel. Next, we have Maddie and Herbie from the Rigging Doctor channel. We also have Alex and Mandy with their newborn son Levi from See the Little Things. And then Andy, who I already mentioned, with his wife Heba and their son Arthur. Throughout the week, we're also going to meet with Steve and Judy from Sailing Fair Isle. They just so happen to be on their own boat in Greece at this same time, so we're going to meet up with them several times. Now the plan is this. The main sponsor of the trip is a guy named George. He has a small charter company called SailwithGeorge. He's going to let our group go out on one of his boats. It's an Oceanstar 56. So for the entire week, we're going to cruise around the Cyclades. That's a group of islands in the Aegean Sea. So for me, it starts like this. I fly from Los Angeles to Athens, Greece. I then meet part of the group for a nice little dinner at a little Greek restaurant. So that's Michael, Joel, Herbie, and Maddie. We didn't stay out late because we had to catch an early morning ferry to one of the islands. All right, getting ready for this adventure to begin. Just sitting outside of the ferry. It's huge. This ferry is like a cruise ship. Look at this thing. But we're gonna meet the group today on the ferry. We're gonna head to Cyros, and that's where we're gonna start this sailboat charter journey. So, should be awesome. My friends just joined me! You guys made it.
We got a little turned around, but I think we're in the right place now.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this the boat?
This is it.
Woohoo!
I don't know if you just saw that, but that seagull just ate a huge rat. Crazy. All right. Anyway, we're on our way. The ferry is just taking off right now. Huge. This ferry takes about 4 hours, which is the slow ferry. So we'll be in Cyros about 11 a.m.
About the size of your camera, it's about how well you can use it.
We're comparing camera size, and I have the smallest, unfortunately. So yeah, we just arrived at Cyros, the island. We're gonna now go to a grocery store, get some provisions. This is the main city on the island. So we're gonna hang out here because we have to go to the other side of the island for the boat. The city is called Hermopoli. I really love this town. I'll explore it more later in other episodes. For now, the group is coordinating our plan of action. Then we'll grab taxis to head over to the boat. So we're coming into Phoenix?
Yeah.
At this point, I should show you in better detail where exactly we're located. We took off here from Athens this morning on the ferry. We arrived here to the island of Cyros and the city of Hermopoli. We now need to get to the other side of the island to this small town called Phoenix, where the boat is located at this marina. There we're going to meet up with our host George at this little restaurant bar at the marina. I'm already in love with this place on day one. I asked George what it's like to live here full time.
Yeah, I live just at the other side of the hill.
Yeah.
And we're with a view at the marina. And, we operate 3 boats from here.
Yeah.
That's the marina of Finicas. We are at Cyros.
Okay.
Hello.
Thank you for having us.
So exciting, you know, that something we've been discussing for a few months now.
Yeah, it's true.
Finally became
Real, true, it's happening.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah.
You did.
Made it happen, man.
super. So we are on board of an Oceanstar 56. It's one of the 4 boats actually, 3 Oceanstar 56 that we've got. SailwithGeorge. There are 3 identical boats. So
George takes some time with each of us to teach us all about the features of the boat, safety features, and how we operate everything. We'll be taking this boat on our own for the whole week as a bareboat charter, so we need a full rundown of how everything works. As we're doing our walkthrough, we actually notice a good-sized tear in the sail. So Herbie from the Rigging Doctor channel volunteers to be hoisted up the mast to sew up the tear. Herbie grabs a sewing kit and, in typical Herbie fashion, quickly fixes the problem. It's as good as new. So here's a good spot for me to give you a tour of the boat. Now, unfortunately, I didn't shoot this footage until the last day when we were actually packing up to leave, so the place is a complete mess. But I wanted to insert that footage here because I figure it makes more sense here in the first episode to give you a full tour of the boat. Now, mind you, it's completely trashed at the moment because we've been living on it for a week. But it'll give you an idea of the interior space, and let me just show you around. Coming down the companionway here, the salon is just huge, enormous really. Got the galley there, a huge galley. Salon, like I said, our junk is everywhere. Do not judge. I'm doing this just so you can get an idea of the size of the boat and the accommodations. Nav station there. The aft portion of the boat, we have 2 aft cabins, exactly identical. A double bed in there with its own head right there. On the other side, another double bed, and the head is right there. Spacious. Again, we've had our junk everywhere. Going down, now what's interesting about this boat is that the owner, George, has completely remodeled the front end of this boat. You have 3 cabins that are similar, almost identical, with bunk beds in each cabin, so enough for 6 people in the forward part of the boat. So moving up to this hallway, you look in this room, you've got your bunk beds with its own hatch there. This room here has its head across the hallway. Standard head with a shower. So it's a wet head, they call it, where you can shower in the head there. Same scenario here. Got a cabin space with the bunk beds. Across the hall is the other head, and at the far bow of the boat you have another room, bunk beds, and the head right there. Looking back into the salon, and like I said, just huge, spacious salon. Under the companionway you have your engine. Now let's get back to real time when we first arrived to the boat, and I want to talk to George a bit about his charter company.
Hello everyone, I'm George from SailwithGeorge. We are a sailing business operating here at Port of Finicas, which is in Cyros on the Cycladic Islands. We run sailing trips starting from this little fishing port, and we are right in the heart of the Cyclades. We're running the boats, the trips on our 3 boats, which are all 56 feet boats with 5+1 cabin layout. So that means that We can have 11 people, up to 11 people on board, people that they don't know each other. They come here, they are either solo travelers or couples or a small group of friends. They book one cabin or two, or just one berth, and they join with like-minded people to have a shared experience sailing this beautiful venue of the Greek islands. And of course well-prepared boats, ready to serve you. So yeah, we're really happy to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. Like you said, it's an Oceanstar 56. Oceanstar is a Greek-made.
It's a Greek-made boat. They don't make it anymore. It's the boatyard unfortunately was a victim of the crisis, of the economic crisis of Greece back in 2012. But the boats are really good, really seaworthy, well designed. I think it's a perfect boat for sailing around these islands. These islands can be windy sometimes, and that's a quite steady boat, yeah. Quite heavy, yeah. But quite fast in the same time because of the waterline. So you probably heard most of that, but there was a bit of background noise, so I just wanted to restate a few things. I think the model that George has is really quite interesting because it's really for solo travelers and maybe couples that want to travel on a budget, because it's super affordable compared to other charters. So for a solo traveler, it costs only about $750 for the whole week to stay on this boat. It's very basic. You get your bunk bed and you have a head, but that's why the layout is so important on the boat, where each cabin has their own head. But I think it's a great way to see Greece and not spend thousands of dollars like you would normally on a private charter. Now you can charter the boat privately for a small group or family or whatever, but really I think the great thing is if you're a solo traveler, if you want to go and explore Greece on a budget, this is the way to do it. And so anyway, back to the video.
One big thank you we have to make is to Henry Lloyd, who is one of our sponsors for this trip, and he provided us, the man himself, Henry himself.
Thank you, Henry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Henry.
So the company provided us all with amazing amounts of gear and clothing that we are going to unwrap and try on right now.
Woo!
On the catwalk.
We're gonna all model our
You
new
can get drunk
clothing.
as hell and do a little Henry Lloyd cap.
Yeah.
Did you get?
I got a shirt
A polo.
in blue. Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Oh, that's
White
gonna look
polo.
very
I'm gonna look-
strapping on
Hey, you
you.
look yachty.
Yes, I am.
Very yachty.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man.
That's gonna look really good on you.
Joel.
Sort of
Joel.
tan.
Yay.
Right. First gift for J-Post.
All right.
So that's pretty much how we ended the evening, with Andy handing out merch like he was Santa Claus from one of our sponsors, Henry Lloyd. So I think that's a good place to stop the video. Be sure to watch next episode when we leave the dock, get to know each other better as a group, and we have a nice sail over to the famous island of Mykonos. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.